Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reacting to top 5 demons pretending to be imaginary friends. So guys, please watch this video until the end to hear my scary story of what happened to me as a kid. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
I personally never even considered this a possibility, but now it's hard to stop thinking about. All of those strange, weird, and creepy folks dreamed up by lonely and imaginative children could have very well been demons. If we're going by the Shining and the Sixth Sense rules here, we can assume that kids just have greater latent psychic abilities and would be able to see and interact with stuff like that without really trying too hard. So Gene Belcher's albino pal Ken, who does improvised hip hop, could be a demon. The lovable, fuzzy, cuddly adventure pal Hobbs could be a demon. Blue from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, demon. Hell, that's an entire mansion jam-packed with demons. Today, we're going to take a look at some imaginary friends that probably weren't exactly who they said they were. It's time for the top 5 demons pretending to be imaginary friends. Coming in at number 5, we've got Kellum. A lot of imaginary friends end up kind of disappearing on their own. The kid who conjured them uses the pal as a sort of surrogate friend, and once they grow up enough or make some real connections, it's all done. That was sort of the case with Kellum, but the thing is, Kellum might not have been dreamed up. Let me explain. More than a decade ago, a mother-daughter duo had to deal with the terrifying implications the young girl's imaginary friend brought along with it. When Madison, now a teenager, was about 3 years old, she started telling her mom about things her friend Kellum would do. Kellum singular, not part of a duo. This is important because up until that point, Madison had always made up friends in pairs with odd names. Then one day, just Kellum. Madison would play with this imaginary friend who watched over her like a father figure. She claimed that he was tall, had a beard, and was always wearing work clothes. So an adult imaginary friend. Weird. For a while, Madison's mom, Kelly, didn't think much of it. Then one day, Madison started singing a song that she claims to have learned from Kellum. There was nowhere else Madison could have learned this tune, and it was a pretty well-established one too. Daisy Bell, or as most folks might know it, a bicycle made for two. Creepy. Madison said Kellum
Yo,
would sing it to his baby. As the years went by, the imaginary friend
imagine you guys who have kids, woke up one morning and your child started singing a song that she could have not learned anywhere else. That must be the most terrifying thing in the world. Like, your child just randomly learned a song out of the blue. And I've heard the song. If you play it slowly, it sounds kind of creepy.
caused other odd stuff to happen. The TV would turn on when nobody was around, and Kellum would throw ghostly temper tantrums when Madison didn't want to play. Things got pretty bad over time. According to Madison, his face got really dirty, his eyes became sunken, and his body became extremely thin, as if malnourished. One night, Kellum even tried to grab Madison by the wrist and drag her away. Not great. After a while, the mom, Kelly, decided to look into the history of her house and the houses around it. And wouldn't you know it, there used to be a neighbor known as Callum Beasley. Digging further, she discovered something horrifying. Callum had a daughter named Madeline, who had died when she was 3, right at the age Madison was when Callum started showing up. Yowza. Coming in at number 4, we got the Captain. Kids love the military. There's something about tales of guns, guts, and glory that really gets their imagination running. Just think about it. You got Army Men, Captain Crunch, you name it. So when an imaginary man of military rank pops in your kid's life, you probably don't think too much of it, right? Right? In this case, that would be the wrong call. Oh no. A mother noticed that her 7-year-old son was spending a lot of time in his room and asked him about it. According to the kid, he was playing with his new ghost friend, the Captain. He had a big white beard like Santa and looked to be pretty old too. Now that's a red flag, but as far as the mom could see, there wasn't actually an old dude in her son's room, so she let it be. Eventually though, the captain started telling the boy some upsetting things. He would constantly tell him that he would grow up to kill people, and the captain would be the one to tell him who to kill. This was very upsetting to the boy, who would cry and say that he didn't want to be a killer. The captain had an interesting rebuttal to this though. He told the boy that it was okay and that one day he would get used to killing. Numb to the carnage, indifferent to the bloodshed. Absolutely chilling. Kind of like an alternate Igor from the Velvet Room in Persona, but instead of instilling a teen with demons to fight back against the wrongs of the world, it's an elderly captain telling your young child to murder people. Sheesh. Coming in at number 3, we've got Grateful. That's a nice name, right? Such a positive connotation. Well, oftentimes great horror hides behind...
Yo, this is so creepy to think that if you as a kid had an imaginary friend, or your kid has an imaginary friend, it could be a demon without you even knowing it.
Behind pleasant masks. This is just such a case. I'm going to transcribe exactly what this kid said about their imaginary friend. Word for word. Are you ready? This is my imaginary mom, Grateful. Her yellow eyelashes means she can see in the dark. She only comes to see me at nighttime. It scares me sometimes, but I always want her to come back. She has 2 babies in her belly. She's 14, but can never have a birthday. Excuse me? That is a terrifying imaginary mom if I have ever seen one. Ruby, are you okay? I'd like to hear how Ruby feels about Grateful these days, as I feel it's been a couple of years since this was originally posted. There are just so many creepy
You need to go to church more.
details in there. I'm not entirely sure what to do about it. Like, Grateful is pregnant with twins, 14 years old, and can never have a baby. The implications are horrifying, and I'll leave it at that. Plus, she scares the kid, but the kid always wants her to come back?
No.
Stockholm Syndrome?
No.
I'm appalled, but that's about all there is to say about this one. Next Demon Pal. Coming in at number 2, we've got the Bunny Man. Right off the bat, this one makes me think of Donnie Darko. Bad sign, pretty much immediately. Especially if this imaginary pal is hanging out with a child. Now, it's not exactly like the presence in Donnie Darko, the similarities are mostly superficial, but the story behind the Bunny Man is just as spooky, if not spookier. This tale comes from a babysitter who was taking care of a pair of twins one dark and stormy night. The kids kept telling them about the man in the Easter Bunny costume that would follow them around, which... oh no. But that's just the beginning. The kids were consistently scared of the Bunny Man, so much so that they were afraid to do some things alone. One night, while one of the twins was in the shower, the babysitter heard a bunch of noise. The other twin turned to the babysitter and said, "You need to go check on him." Almost immediately after this realization, the showering twin started screaming, "He's in here! He's in here!" Could you imagine? You're chilling with a kid, watching TV, and then all of a sudden their nightmare demon bunny man shows up beside the one you're not actively monitoring. Of course, by the time the babysitter got upstairs, the bunny man was nowhere to be found. The rest of the night was full of double-checking empty rooms and shining lights under furniture for sure.
Damn.
The whole twin telepathy element of this imaginary friend slash demon makes it even creepier. And finally, at number 1, we've got Icy. Ice cold. That's what this imaginary friend is. They don't give a damn if you want to hear what they have to say. They're going to say it right to you, and then you're going to have to deal with it. So get this. Icy is the imaginary friend of a little girl who seems to know when people are going to die.
No,
familiar?
no,
If
no.
anything, it reminds me of the
Stay the hell
Shinigami
away from me.
Death Note.
Oh, hell no.
Somehow I don't think a child should have access to a pal like that, but here we are. While visiting his friend's house, the storyteller ran into his pal's little sister. He'd previously heard about Icy from her, but didn't think too much about it. However, on that particular day, Icy had a lot to say. The little sister told the storyteller that Icy knew when he was going to die, and then asked if he wanted to know about it. Put off by the morbid question, he replied that he didn't know when he was going to die, but hopefully it would happen when he was very old. According to Icy, no.
Yo, this is just so creepy that I keep looking back to see if there's anything behind me, but damn.
They proceeded to let him know that it would be tonight. Damn, Icy, that's cold. So keep your imaginations under close watch, alright? You can let them run free, but know what's going on. You don't want to end up with a demonic pal that won't leave you alone. Or Maybe you do. I'm not gonna make too many assumptions. So, what'd you think of the list? Did you agree with my picks? What's the scariest imaginary friend you've ever heard of? Did you ever have a questionable invisible pal? Make sure you let me know down in the comments. Speaking of comments, let's take a look at some of your more...
So guys, that was top 5 demons pretending to be imaginary friends, which is actually super creepy if you think about it. Like, one day you just come home and your kid is playing with someone but you can't see them. No, nope. I'm staying away from that. Nope. Oh yeah, so I'm supposed to tell you guys the story about what happened to me. So, okay, I wrote this down because I could not remember all of it, but let's just pop this on the screen real quick. So yeah, I told my mom that I was gonna be doing this top 5 demons who could be what you call top 5 demons pretending to be imaginary friends. So yeah, I told her about it, and she proceeded to tell me the story that when I was younger, me and my other 2 siblings, when we were younger, there was a lady who lived in the house opposite us, but she recently passed away. So one day my mom's friend came to visit us, but she had this gift of sight, like she could see dead people. So she came over to the house, and when she came into the house, she asked my mom, "Do you know there's an old woman playing with your kids, but that she is not dangerous?" So she explained that when the lady had passed away, a soul somehow lost its way and found us and attached itself to us. So she explained to my mom how this lady looked, and then my mom realized that it was the lady who had recently passed away. But yeah, so my mom's friend proceeded to direct this lady's soul to her own house, and she got the old priest thing in to come cleanse the house, but I have no recollection of this because I was so little at the time. And they do say that when kids are young, they do have like the ability to see ghosts and whatnot. And it's kind of creepy to know that someone used to play with me as a kid. It kind of freaks me out right now. But yeah, so if you guys did like this video, please leave it a like, and share this video with your friends. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Leave a comment or drop it a like. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any scary stories that you'd like to share.